So let's talk about the other side of it, because sometimes EMTs have to show up when someone's giving birth in a place like a bathroom at a gas station or wherever.
Side of the road. Yep.
Talk about the soul and the birth process, because that's something I've never really interviewed anyone on before, watching the soul come and join the body.
It's super cool. And so on the ambulance, I delivered 3. So I had countless deaths, hundreds of dead bodies, and many active transitions. I was fortunate to deliver 3 in my time. 1 was healthy, and 2 were born addicted to crack. And so that's just what it was when we were delivering. But the energy is significantly different. In that, of course, you're going through, mom's in pain. You got to deal, it's pretty easy to deliver a baby. You really just catch, and they're kind of slippery. So you just got to really make sure you don't drop them. But there's a lot of pink energy and life, right? There's green, there's emeralds, there's golds, there's silvers. There's kind of a similar, almost angelic, celestial kind of presence. Because to me, there's nothing more closer to God incarnate than a newborn, because it's literally just came from the immaterial to the material, right? Yeah. And it is such an incredible experience to witness. So in my private practice, I do a lot of energy healing now, and I've had quite a few pregnant women come, and this was fun because I could see it from a different standpoint, where it wasn't emergent and I wasn't trying to have to deal with delivery, but I could see that the soul of the baby was hovering just above mother's tummy, and then the little umbilical cord, the energetic umbilical cord connecting to the physical placenta and the actual fetus. And I would be able to start to get information of it'll likely be a boy, and he's probably going to be a lot to handle, and whatever. And so that was actually really, really sweet to see things like that. Yeah.
I hope you're enjoying this video, because if you are, there are dozens more like it on my site, all supported by people like you. So if you'd like to keep this work rolling in and join our community, just click on the Patreon button at reginameredith.com. That also gives you access to insider commentary, my live book club, and other live events with special guests. So join in. Thanks. I mean, that's something I've always found fascinating. I used to, just for relatives and my very close girlfriends, I would do massage on their feet as they were going into the birth process. And sometimes I would talk to the beings within a window of a week to 10 days before they were born. Mm-hmm. And they would tell me things about their lives, what they had come to do, their primary interests, which parent they were more attached with, either karmically or historically, and all that. And I just found it so beautiful to watch the years go by and see how many of them actually, what they said was going to happen, how much, before we come in, how much is already written about the plan for our life. And I love it, but I've never actually, I can feel it, and I burst into tears when the baby takes that first breath. Something in me just bursts into tears each time. Is that when you would see the being kind of enter the body? At what point did the being enter and come?
It was pretty embodied already, but once it gets with me, you'd be being pushed through the birth canal. I wasn't doing C-sections, obviously. Yeah. But either way, once the baby releases from the mother, the body fully, it kind of lodges down and in. The baby, though, from what I've been able to see, it's like a little ball of gold light. It looks very different from a clairvoyant perspective or a medical intuitive perspective. A newborn up until the age of 1 is very different from the standard construct of a child or adult. They're just like a little ball of light, it's just like pure consciousness. And in adults and adolescent children, a lot of the data runs vertically through the systems, especially the mental plane energy runs very vertically through. And with the babies, it just kind of is like this spiral it's just a ball of light and data. It's so sweet to see.
But let's talk about the other side of it. Say if you have come in, you have a contract. I mean, I think what you were talking about a little moment ago, I think of it like you come in and your little body's going to be addicted to crack and you're born into a tough circumstance. There's a negotiation period you and I've talked about before, and it's often shows up under an acronym that we call SIDS.
I call it the opt-out. There's about a year contractually in terms of the incarnation clause or agreement that there's an opt-out period, and that's what SIDS is from an energetic perspective. It's like the soul incarnates into human form. They'll start their experience and then they're like, not quite ready. And so they'll opt out. That's what I would see.
So if you see a little baby coming in under those dire circumstances where the mom is addicted and the baby's coming into a little body that's going to have a lot of problems and it's neural wiring later on because of the addiction, is it any different, or is it all the same golden light? The same?
It's all the same. I mean, I would see the tinge of whatever substance, meth, crack, heroin, all those things have specific resonance and vibration and consciousness that goes with them. So of course we would see that. And then we would have to be worried about withdrawals and making sure that they had their breathing. They were able to breathe on their own. So there was a lot more in the mechanics of a birth like that. One of mine, this was her 15th pregnancy and 10th birth, all addicted.
Whoa. Yeah. A whole different thing.
Humanity is something.
It's amazing.
Humanity is something. Well, I really advocate. I really like advocate.
You agreed to a tough one. You agreed to a tough one when you incarnated. Some of these little babies do. All of us have our stuff that we've got that we're bringing with us. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And you might also want to consider joining Patreon, which allows me to keep all of this content free and available to everyone. And if you're looking for like-minded souls, you might also enjoy my online community called Our Neighborhood. Links to join are in the description.